Movers, welcome back to another video. A question I get often is, what does a Google Ads campaign that's really good, what does it look like? What metrics do I need to see to believe that I'm getting the most out of the money I'm spending on Google Ads? So let's dive in. So this company here in New Jersey that I work with, they spent over $22,000 in the past 30 days. Let's take a look at the first campaign. The first campaign is called NJ Movers, and they spent $6,089 this month. The average cost per click was $26.25, and they generated 232 clicks. Now, over 3,834 people saw this campaign. Like I said, 232 people clicked, and so we got a 6% interaction rate. That's slightly higher than average. I'm always trying to improve that number. An amazing interaction rate would be closer to 8, 9, 10%. It's very hard to achieve without getting a little too spammy with the ads. I want to make sure I keep it natural and I keep the ads honest. Some moving companies will kind of do a bait and switch kind of thing, where there'll be like moves as low as $199, moves as low as $299. My client doesn't want to do that because he doesn't do moves for less than $800, so that's not going to be good advertising practices in his case. And so there's only so much I can do to get the interaction rate up, but it all ties back to your ads and how you format your wording, right? So moving on, they actually got 51 leads, 51 conversions for the $6,089, and that's a whopping 18.5% conversion rate, which is way higher than the average 3 to 5% that most Google Ads accounts get, or on average, rather, I should say. Now, the cost per conversion, or the cost per lead here in New Jersey, is $141. For some people in your market, if you're not in New Jersey, this may be expensive, but it's not out of the norm in the New Jersey, New York market whatsoever. And many campaigns actually go closer to $200 per lead. Google Ads is expensive, yes, but you're getting really good leads. And in most cases, you're getting really good leads. You're not targeting the little one bedrooms that you may get with lead providers and with other avenues. So moving on, the next campaign here is called Bergen County. They spent $5,100. The ads were seen 3,005 times, 207 clicks, and a 6.89 interaction rate, a whole percent almost better, and the cost per click was slightly lower at $24.68. We generated 36 conversions here for a cost of $196.51 per lead. Definitely more expensive than the other campaign, but this is a high value area where it's mostly homes, 3, 4, 5 bedroom homes that can result in moves that can be $5, $6, $8, and $10,000 for a local move. Some of these clients may require full packing, so this, my client is totally fine with paying this much money for this kind of area because it's going to increase their revenue. Now, the next area here that we have an entire campaign for is Jersey City. $3,600 spent, 5.6% interaction rate. They generated 84 clicks, and we generated 28 leads and phone calls, $150 a lead. Here you can see the average cost per click was really high, but because the conversion rate is 28%, it makes up for the really high cost per click. Moving on, a branded campaign for my client, meaning when their company name gets searched, they show up at the very top. The reason we want to do that is we don't want competitors stealing our leads and stealing our customers. We got 22 conversions total for that, and that cost us only $35. So if someone is your past client and they could potentially go to your competitors, wouldn't you want to spend $35 to get them to come back to you? Most definitely, and my client doesn't mind doing that. So, and the last campaign is called Essex County, which is, kind of similar to Bergen County here in New Jersey. Big homes mostly, and, they spent $1,800. 6.35% interaction rate. Now, just to explain what an interaction rate is, so if 1,100 people saw your ad and 71 people clicked, the interaction rate that leads to an interaction rate, or how many people interacted with your ads, right? What percentage of people from the people who saw it actually took action and clicked on your ad? So that's 6.3%. So just so you understand what the interaction rate is. Now, we spent $1,800 and we got 21 lead forms and phone calls, leading to $130 per lead. Account-wide, we're at $140 per lead. This may be expensive in your area. This may be in line with your area. If you're in the California market, if you're in some areas like Boston, you're going to definitely see those costs per lead. If you're on the Midwest, if you're in Texas, if you're in Alabama, you're going to see much lower costs per lead, closer to $60, $70 a lead, maybe $80 a lead, depending on your specific city you want to target. If you're in a major metro area, of course, it's going to be more expensive. That's why if you want to know how much you would spend potentially per lead, you can fill out the form down in the description that I have for movers. We can do a completely free consultation, walk you through what's the budget you need for how many leads you want to get, what we expect your cost per lead to be on average, and just how successful you can be with Google Ads before you go on and start a campaign on your own. Definitely consult with us and we can give you all the data and information that you need. So this was rather a quick video, but I just wanted to show you what a good Google Ads campaign looks like. By the way, as I mentioned before, the client spent $21,280 for the month. Very good budget, very high budget. You don't need to start with this kind of budget. It's totally fine if you have a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 budget to start with, or even lower in some cases. We work with movers with all budgets, but we are happy that we were able to actually get this customer 164 leads in 1 month, in 30 days. So we can do the same for you. Fill out the form in the description and let's have a conversation.